Okay, thanks for the chance to say a few words, and thanks to my colleagues for sharing the slot as well. Again, I want to welcome this budget. I think it's quite a good budget, but it's also a very prudent budget, and it's a balanced budget, which is key. And we are expecting the taxpayer by this budget, and we're using their money wisely. I've listened to people commenting today and other days and over the weeks about all the different options and choices and so on. And budgets are about choices, and they're about direction. And I hear a lot of speeches today about delivery and what's going to happen in some of this budget and so on. And again, if you make the choices in budgets to help you deliver what people need. I was struck here on budget night, it was just a coincidence, but I think it was on some of the RTE programmes, they were looking back over 1986, when Irish people were boarding planes, queuing up, boarding planes to head off for a job abroad. We were here again in back end of 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 12. Irish people were boarding planes and heading off. And that was because of choices in this House. Choices by Fianna Fáil-led governments and choices at budget time that didn't protect the future of this country, that didn't protect those people and their families who had to board the planes. And I think people need to remember that when it comes to budgets and how we spend our money, how we spend taxpayers' money, that it is about choices and making the right choices to protect the people who live in this country, to protect our families, but also to protect and secure their future. I listened to Micheál Martin earlier on today, and I had to say, he spoke again about delivery, and he was questioning what Fine Gael will do to deliver, what this government with Fine Gael and independence, what will they deliver on? Well, I'll tell you this much. What we did deliver on was hope, number one. I remember the election in 2011, meeting people on their doors, and they saying to me, there is no future in this country. We have no hope for our children, or their children. That's how they felt. There was misery in their eyes. I am absolutely proud to say we have delivered a balanced budget today. We have delivered practically nearly full employment. We have delivered hope. And Coherent, we've given people and their future, it's been delivered. It's protected, it is safe, because we're using budget choices to make long-term plans. That's what Taoiseach Leo Varadkar is about, that's what Minister of Finance Pascal Donoghue is about, and all our colleagues, and our colleagues in independence as well, making long-term, sustainable decisions and choices with taxpayers' money. That's what we're delivering. That's what we have delivered, and we will continue to deliver that. What did Micheál Martin choose to do when he was in government? What did he deliver? I'll tell you what he delivered. Over 300,000 job losses, people getting back on planes, heading off again. You look at budgets and budget choices. Election budgets, 2001, 2002. Current expenditure plus 20%. Plus 15%. Again, election years, 06 and 07, two budgets. What did we get? Plus 11%, plus 12%. Increases, reckless increases in spend. That's choices. That's what they delivered. And those budgets were built on sand. Because roll on a couple of years, we had to cut out 20 billion. And we were in here making decisions. Where do you find 7 billion to cut out of a budget? Thankfully, yesterday and today, we're putting an extra 4 or 5 billion back in again. But that's about choices and about delivering. And that's what he did. And I don't think he's very credible standing up there asking what we're going to deliver. But again, we'll move on to what we are going to deliver, because again, this budget is about the future. But I want to say, I know that if we stick to these kind of budget choices, these long-term decision-making, while also dealing with today's issues, that we won't have people queuing up again to get onto planes or boats to head off someplace else, that they can plan for their future in this country. That's our job. And yes, all that extra employment, people coming home and all the other pressures has contributed to other difficulties in the country when it comes to providing services. We have no problem in this side of the government acknowledging that there's a lot of difficulties still in health, a lot of difficulties still in housing. We're still playing catch up in some education supports and across the board. But we were honest about that. We're straight up about it. And it's not spin when you're straight up and factual. And it's wrong to keep saying it's just about spin. We are the ones that come in here month after month and produce the figures and tell it as it is when it comes to housing or health or anywhere else. But don't try to hide it. We're straight up about it. But we're also straight up about how we're going to fix it, how we're going to solve it, as we're putting a plan in place. And before we move on to that, I want to also go back to making choices. Because people also have to judge choices. Sinn Féin get to make choices. Their choices are not to make any decisions. They choose not to go into government, either in the south or the north. And that's true. So that's their choice. So again, I have to judge them on their choices, which is to do nothing, just talk about it. When it comes to this budget, and we've had 5 or 6 years of jobs budgets, and they're very, very important. And again, people today, Michael Martin, number one, others tried to claim that the action plan for jobs had nothing to do with job creation. Yet, when we produced the action plan for jobs and said we'd create 100,000 jobs, everyone laughed. They said we couldn't do it. Then when it was achieved and there was over 200,000 jobs, the mantra the last time was, they're not real jobs. Well, that's proven untrue, because they are real jobs. People are back working and back earning money. But we acknowledge on this side of the House that people are still finding it difficult. Yes, they're back at work, they've bills to pay, they're trying to catch up on their mortgages, catch up on their debts, pay their bills, raise their family, do all that. We know that's difficult. So again, our budget reflects that, trying to make life a little bit easier, budget on budget, using the tax system, using the social welfare system to make it a little bit easier just to manage and pay all the bills. Because we know that people overnight aren't back to where they were. Yes, they've got work again, they've got a job, they've got hope, but it still takes time to rebuild your finances and get on top of things like that. So we're trying to acknowledge that with the tax system and make those changes every year with the income tax bans, with the USC change and so on, to make it a little bit easier again to try and make it work pay. Because we know it costs money to go to work. We know it costs money to provide your accommodation, to raise your family and all that. We recognise that. So we'll benefit, we'll make changes there. We'll make changes in the services when it comes to childcare, education, colleges and so on. Also when it comes to housing, again, we are delivering there. We are the first to acknowledge in this side of the House it's not enough to solve the problem this week or next week. But you can't fix housing by just drawing pictures or drawing houses. You actually physically have to build them. Go out and find the houses. What did Fianna Fáil deliver? They delivered 3,000 ghost estates. That was our first issue we had to handle when we came in. So now we have a plan. And I would challenge anybody to track that plan and watch it. And again, it's factual. It's not spin from me or Owen Murphy. It's factual. We show you the figures on a monthly basis what is happening. There is an additional 7,000 social houses paid for by the taxpayer come into the system last year, 2017, the first year of the plan, of a 5-year plan. This year, there will be 8,000 houses paid for by the taxpayer, new social houses. Delivered. There, I can bring it to each site and show them to you. Next year, with this year's budget and the 2.4 billion spend of taxpayers' money that will be spent through government departments, spent through local authorities, spent through the NGOs, there's 2.4 billion of taxpayers' money will deliver 10,000 social houses. Nobody else is doing that. Others talk about it, aspire to it. We do it because we are delivering it. It's our job, and we recognise that housing is priority number one. And again, when I go back to saying delivering and hope, in our budget, in this budget, which is a housing budget among many other things,
Thank you, Minister.
I want to make one point. We are committed, and we can clearly say that we know 5,000 adults plus their children who are homeless today, who have not got a house today, will be in a house next year, because that's what the plan delivers. Over 7,000 adults left a homeless situation over the last 18 months through our budgetary decisions here, making choices. So we will be judged on that, but it's factual, not made up, not spin, it's there to be seen. We again, I want to finish this point, we acknowledge that there are still thousands of people who have not got a house tonight. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants children or families raised in hotels, B&Bs. We'll invest in hubs to make it a little bit easier. But nobody wants that. We want to deliver houses, and we will deliver them. We will deliver social houses, we will deliver private houses, and we will deliver affordable houses. And that's what we're doing in government. That's what this budget is about, to continue that good work. Thank you very much, Chair.